Hi there. My name is Jared. Welcome to episode 3 of Citizens of the Metaverse. Today's episode is one of the special episodes I talked about in the beginning of the channel trailer. Today's guest is someone named Michael, or Mike. He's actually one of my roommates for next year in college. Throughout the conversation, we talk about things like how he got to the major he's going to study next year, or how he thinks the pandemic affected his college process. It's a really good conversation, and I can't wait to meet him in person in a few months. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you on the other side. Hi there. Tell me a bit about yourself.
Hello. My name's Michael. I like video games. That's what I plan to do when I'm older. I like to play games, see how they made the story. I like the art specifically in games, like how the 3D models are made and stuff. So yeah.
So, we're going to the same college, right? We're gonna roommate next year.
Yeah.
So then,
Yeah.
tell me a bit about what you like. Uh, Tell me a bit about why you chose the school you did.
Well, I chose it because it's nearby to where I live, and it's in like the good price range where for where I can go. I went there once before for a summer event where basically they if you're in high school, you can go there and see if you like the college or not. And they did a program for the major I was looking into, which was game art, and I thought it was really good. And I turned in a portfolio, and I got a scholarship for it. And then I guess I kind of got on like the good track of their college as well. So I got a scholarship later on to go if I wanted to go full, to the actual college. And I thought it was, it was a really good college. It's in my area. It has the stuff I wanted to do. I met the professors there, and they're really nice professors. So I was like, yeah, this is the place I want to go to. So that's how I
So,
chose it.
I know you said you did a summer program there, but how did you actually find it in the first place before the summer program, even?
Well, before I found the summer program, I was mostly just I did a lot of researching on like how much money do game designers and game artists make. I wanted to know which part of the job I was looking to do when I'm older, and so I kind of read about it, and I mostly was enjoying making 3D models at the time, and it was through I think it was like I don't know. I look at a lot of like places where they have like 3D magazines and stuff like that, where they show 3D models and stuff like that. And I remember I think I saw something like about Colombia in one of them. Um, when I was looking, my school has this like thing. It's like a website where you can look at colleges after school and stuff, and you can choose what career path you want to go down, and it lists the colleges that kind of have majors towards it. And that was one of the colleges. So I thought if it's reputable enough to be in a magazine as well as on the website, and it says it's good, so I thought, yeah, I'd check it out.
So then, how helpful was your college counselors in high school?
They were very helpful actually. When I was looking for like different colleges, they didn't necessarily specify like what colleges that I should go to because I don't think they know entirely. But they understood like what major I was kind of looking to go towards, like more of an art major. And so they were very helpful with leading up to that. I took this year I took an AP class for art, and they recommended to me it because it's like a good before college, understanding of
A
what art
booster
classes
class,
might be like.
a booster
So
class.
yeah, yeah.
So then, how was your college process affected, at least to your knowledge, by the pandemic?
Well, I guess I was hoping this year and like a bit last year to go and see the college again, but due to COVID and all that, I wasn't able to actually go down and see it because they kind of had it all like kind of locked down. You weren't able to go in and see the stuff. Luckily, I was able to see the college before a bit of it just before the whole lockdown happened. But I've been meaning to go back and see it all over again because I wanted to because I only saw one of the dorms and I wanted to see more of it and stuff, see more of the campus, but I haven't been able to do that.
So, was the college we're attending next year the only one on your list the entire time, or did you have other ideas of where you might want to go?
There were others, but had a few problems with them. Mostly that either one, they were a lot more expensive. Considering this is an art college, their prices range large amounts because it depends on what type you're going into. If you're going for like drawing stuff like that, I'm not sure it's that expensive. Like a college you need for that. But if you're going like for what I'm doing, like game art and stuff like that, and like some maybe like CGI and stuff, usually they have a lot more need for like expensive equipment at those colleges, so it usually costs more to go to them. So the reason why I wanted to go to Columbia was because, like I said, it was in a good price range, and the other reason was it was close by, rather than the other colleges are usually in more populated like areas where people in that major get work afterwards, like in California and like Texas and sometimes in Florida.
So like the
So, and
location
those are quite
themselves
far away
would
from
ramp
where I
up the
am.
price.
Yeah. So yeah, ramp up the price. I'd have to fly all the way there and stuff.
So did COVID and not being able to really even see those schools affect your decision in the end, do you think?
Yeah, I would think so. I would definitely think so. Like, if there wasn't COVID, I probably would have at least tried to probably go see maybe some of the colleges that are in California. But with COVID happening in California being actually one of the hot spots for like COVID at the beginning of the whole pandemic, it kind of just ruined those plans. And yeah, I guess just being able to be closer to Columbia and like seeing more information about it constantly since I'm nearby, I guess it kind of affected my decision that that's the place I wanted to go.
So backing up a bit, how did you actually get into game art? How do you know that's what you want to major in?
Well, first, I started making 3D models, not because I wanted to, well, not necessarily because I wanted to make games with them. It's just I saw an image and I found that looked extremely realistic, and I found out that it's not an actual like a real thing in real life. It was just a 3D model someone had made, and so I got interested in that, and so I took a few tutorials online on like how to make a donut, how to make like a lot of small projects and small things. And I guess after I recreated one of my favorite cartoon characters, BMO from Adventure Time, I kind of like I thought it was really cool, and I thought, oh, I could make that into a game character or something, or like using it in games a bit. So, and I was thinking, oh, that I'd probably like to do that when I'm older because I have a lot of fun making this kind of stuff. And so I thought, yeah, this is something I want to do.
So tell me about the craziest thing you've ever made, 3D modeled.
Uh, hmm. I guess, well, the most realistic life-looking thing would be the donut, which was one of my first projects, because I started like 3D modeling like maybe 2 or 3 years ago now. The first thing I made was from the tutorial of the donut, and I kind of, after that tutorial, I never completed the tutorial fully because you're supposed to make a donut, a whole scene where there's like a coffee and stuff like that. I kind of stopped at the donut because I kind of wanted to make other things, because after that I was working on this donut for like over a week. And so over the years, though, I kind of revised the donut, changed its colors and stuff, made it look better. And recently, I just tested myself by seeing how fast I could remake this donut using the current software that I have now, like ZBrush, which is a better sculpting one, while before I used Blender, which is a completely free 3D modeling software. And I kind of made it quite quickly, actually. And it looks, I wouldn't say it looks better, but it certainly looks quite similar.
How about your favorite thing you've ever made? Is that still the donut, or is there something else that you're even more proud of?
That would be the BMO 3D model, because that was actually the first 3D model I made completely off of just looking at a reference image of the BMO. Like I searched up an image of BMO from the cartoon, and I basically just looked at the image and decided to make it off. Like I had to change all the shapes, like the shape of the shapes using the modeler, and I guess. I just feel like very proud that's the first thing that I made that kind of resembles an actual character.
So then, how did you go from having this new hobby of 3D modeling to realizing I want to go into game art instead of doing a different field that requires 3D models?
So rather than like that's the thing. I chose like game art over making like because you can, with the 3D modeling stuff, you can do stuff like the CGI from
There's
movies and all
so
that kind
much
of
you
stuff.
could do. There's
And
so much.
Yeah, there's so much you can do, like advertising for companies also use 3D models and stuff like that. Most of the time, the car commercials aren't even actually a car there. It's usually some type of it's kind of like a buggy that's got like it's like a certain color on it that makes that's CGI creators add the car's effect onto there and stuff. But anyway, the reason why I decided to do game over the others is that I play a lot of video games most of the time, and I guess it kind of influenced me, like making me think that like rather than just movies, which you see movies every day and stuff like that. But I kind of felt like making games was more like there was more into it than just with the CGI, and because the CGI in movies usually details animation and stuff like that, rather more on the 3D modeling aspect. So they make the models, then most of the time it's just the animation of those models. Whereas in games, there's more things like pretty much in games, the most of the time the entire thing is 3D modeled, like the plants, the environment, pretty much everything. And I kind of felt there was more to do in that aspect of the whole 3D modeling department than CGI and stuff.
So, going back to the college topic, what are you most excited about for next year, despite the fact that we're probably still going to see some effects of the pandemic early in the year?
Well, I guess the most fun thing is that through like information I've gained from like emails and stuff from the college, it's entirely like all the students have to be like vaccine got the vaccine for COVID-19
I already
to
got
actually
mine.
attend in class learning stuff. So it's kind of a bit better that they'll actually be able to do in-person learning for most things. I've already checked my schedule and stuff, and I've found that most of my classes, except I think one of them, are actually in person. So I'm really excited to be able to go back into the classroom and use their equipment they have there, because most of my stuff that I make includes needing to have like a display tablet or something like that, or like usually big rig PCs. I have my own, but like being able to use the ones in the classroom and speak with the professors at the same time, it's going to be a lot easier than having to like chat with them over like the internet, because they can't look at my work while I'm working and stuff, and they can't help me in like certain areas. Rather, when in person, I would be able to actually speak with them and get like tips like face to face.
Well, what do you think about the college requiring the vaccine? Because there's people out there that are just like completely opposed to getting the vaccine. So
Mm.
how do you think?
Yeah, I understand that. Like some people have like maybe there's a certain faith or something they have, or maybe they're like they don't trust the vaccines that are currently. I kind of feel that is slightly unfair of the school to do that, to only allow in person class for the people that have had the vaccine. But they can still like they probably still be able to like attend online and stuff, I assume. Also, the school has said that they will, there's vaccination on the campus. So
Right, I've
if you
seen those
don't want, but
emails
like if you
too.
can't get it, if yeah, if you can't get the vaccine or something wherever you are, if you come to the campus, you'll be able to get the vaccine there. So I think that's very good. But I mean, to be honest, if you don't get it because of like it's religion, faith, or something like that, and that's why you don't want to get it. It's kind of a bit unfair, but I guess it's like a necessary. It's a necessary thing to happen. Otherwise, you don't want more like cases of this spreading around throughout the campus and then causing like a whole other lockdown. I guess it's more for precaution. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Have you already gotten your vaccine for next year?
yeah, I've already gotten the vaccine. Yeah.
How long ago was that?
Um. Well, the CDC says it's 2 weeks after the last shot you had for the vaccine that you'll be fully vaccinated. And I did Pfizer, and I got my last shot on the second. Not second, sorry. I got my second shot on the 11th of May, I do believe. So
Okay,
it's
so
been
you're
about
correct.
2 weeks on that. I think it's been 2 weeks now, actually.
Well, if you got
Yeah,
it
it's been a
on
bit
the
over 2 weeks.
11th of May,
I think
it's June. It's almost the end of June.
it's almost June. Yeah. So
No,
yeah,
it's wait, is it still June or is it
it's
still
almost
May?
June. It's still May. It's May 26th or 27th today. I can't remember.
Oh, jeez, my sense of time is completely out of whack. I I'm 2 weeks vaccinated today, which works out well. So as we've already established, we're gonna be roommates next year. We've already figured that out. We've been talking for a while now, right?
Yeah.
So how does it feel to know that just in a couple months you'll be living with someone you practically never met before?
I guess I'm a bit nervous about whole like not being at home all the time. You know, I can't see my parents like 24/7. But currently we live in like a day and age when you can like quickly FaceTime someone or like Zoom someone, and you'll be able to see them straight away. So and like ask for the help for them there. So I guess I'm not extremely worried. I'm not. Um, I'm more nervous about it being the more nervous about, I guess, that I have to like sort out things on my own. Like, what am I going to eat that day? Like, I have to make sure that I wake up at this time for this class and stuff like that. And it's more of like having to organize everything for myself. Whereas before, my parents did a bit of the help of like, yeah.
Do you think you think you're ready to take that next step? You're just nervous about it?
I think so. Yeah, I think I think I learned a lot in the last year, specifically because of like COVID, how everything's been a bit stressful. I had to keep track of all like deadlines and homework and stuff, because before, when we were actually in class and stuff, I was easily able to just ask the teacher, oh, what day is this turned in or something. When nowadays, I only have I have a different schedule where it's like some classes one day, some classes the next day, and it just repeats like that. So I can't ask the teacher every day like when's this due, or how to do this, or how to do that. So I kind of had to organize myself better. So I feel like that's prepared me a lot for college.
Apart from the organization, what else have you learned through the pandemic that you think is going to help you next year?
Um, Well, at the start of the pandemic, schools were having a lot of trouble with because the teachers didn't know how to use Zoom at the start and stuff.
Right.
So
That
it was a lot of
too.
asynchronous work. So I had kind of a lot of free time. So I guess I kind of learned a lot of I spent that time doing like 3D stuff, and I tried to do a couple game jams on like making a game in like usually it's either in a week or something like that. And I never successfully made a game, but I kind of learned quite a lot. I learned a tad bit of programming that I don't necessarily know how to program something, but I know like what like certain terms are, like variables, if and they
Right.
functions and stuff like that.
I
Yeah.
thought it was if then, not if
So I
they.
guess I used my time wisely.
Apart from what you learned that's going to help you next year in college, what have you learned through the pandemic in general? Like, what has the difficulties of the past year taught you, like either about yourself, about the world, about those around you?
Um, I guess it's taught me that like a lot of people are having like a harder time with this like COVID-19 thing than others. Like depending on where you live. Like I was saying earlier, California was kind of like a hotspot, so there was a lot more lockdown there, with like not being able to go anywhere, rather than where I live, where it wasn't as bad. It wasn't. Um, Stuff I learned in general. Well, I worked through. I had a job throughout the pandemic, so I kind of worked in like a grocery store. I did, and so there was a lot of old people working there as well, so I was kind of like worrying for their health as well, because like working during a pandemic, especially if you're older, there's a higher chance that it could be like fatal. The virus could be. So I guess I kind of learned a lot to social distance, but at the same time be able to stay like active in like talking with friends and stuff like that. I use Discord a lot to the service Discord a lot to like chat with my friends and stuff like that, and because I wasn't able to see them in person a lot. Yeah, one of my friends is he has a thing that makes him more vulnerable to the whole virus than other people. So I kind of had to chat with him a lot through there.
So, since you said you worked in customer service, did you ever interact with anybody that was like a huge anti-masker or just wouldn't follow COVID protocols or anything?
Luckily, I did not actually like interact with them, but I knew I knew coworkers that during the day also like I saw from a distance one of my coworkers like interact with those kinds of people as well. It was only like once or twice I think, and the people were like they were kind of very rude, and they just like I don't know. I don't get people why they can't like follow like a simple like thing. It's just wearing a mask, which I don't know. Maybe they just want attention or something. But like Yeah, I just don't get why. But in that kind of situation, if I had to go and there was someone that didn't want to wear a mask, I think the best thing is to keep calm during those situations and don't like yell at them or something, like to put the mask on, like they probably do in most, like if you've seen videos of this happening, it's been on the news a lot.
Right. Yeah.
I'd say the best option is just to stay calm and trying to like politely ask them to, I guess, leave the store because it's you can't go in without a mask. So.
Do you think that with the vaccines rolling out, people are only gonna start to be more like that? That more people that are gonna be like anti-mask pop up like that because they'll think, oh, the pandemic's over, the vaccine's around.
I kind of think that may happen because technically though, if you have been fully vaccinated, it's not actually necessary to wear the mask anymore because the chances of you actually spreading the viruses is CDC said that it's practically zero. The chance of you actually spreading the virus to others, and the chance of you getting the virus is low. But I kind of think like in like cleanliness sake and stuff like that, for those that haven't gotten the vaccine yet, I think it would still be best to keep masks on, at least for the time being, just as like a precaution sake,
Right. Now, a fear I have about that personally is that even though someone might not be vaccinated, they might say they are, and just because they don't want to wear a mask. Considering the event, like things that people have done over the past year, just like completely ignoring mask mandates, things like that, I'm kind of worried that people are gonna just ignore the CDC's guidelines and say, hey, these people are vaccinated, so I don't have to wear a mask or get vaccinated.
Then it kind of makes you think, like, if we did, like, stop, like, the whole mask thing one day, like, how would we know if someone's been, like, vaccinated or not? Like, unless, like, the government has, like, records that everyone currently has been vaccinated, like, would we probably have, like, something added to, like, the, like, an ID card or something saying that you've been, like, unlike the, like, your, what's it called? Like, not driver's license or whatever. The driver's license is the same as the ID. So, yeah, I guess maybe, like, something like that, because my school currently, the way they did it before, like the vaccine was answered for that was that if you've been like tested, you had to get like tested to see if you were positive or negative for like COVID vaccine. And so if you were negative, so you don't have the COVID vaccine, you got like a green sticker on your school ID card, so you were able to like go in for hybrid learning every day. So that's kind of how they did it. So I wonder if they bring something like that out into,
That's an interesting way to handle it. I haven't actually heard of anybody that said that their school did anything like that. I mean, I know my school personally didn't do anything like that. Like, the most my school ever did was in the mornings you had to take your temperature before you left the house and say, like, if you had any COVID symptoms or anything like that.
Yeah, my school, for the most part, before the vaccines were being taken out, they also checked, like, they measured people's temperatures as they came and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And unlike before, where you, before the pandemic, where you didn't have to, nowadays, they measure, like, they track how, which people go into the school or not by, you have to scan your school ID when you leave and stuff like that. And they other stuff, like, let's say you, like, leave your classroom during the class period, to keep track of where people are going and stuff like that. They have, like, I don't know, it's like a Google form kind of thing, but it's like a barcode. So you'd scan use your phone to scan the barcode, and you like say where you're going, so that, and it gets like it kind of keeps track, like if this person like gave code or something like that to a bunch of people, they'd know where he went and know like who was there at that time.
So my school did something similar to that as well, but the scanning for like contact tracing was only ever for like at lunchtime, like where you sat. Because at the beginning of the year or at the beginning of the semester for like a new class, they would just give you assigned seats, so you'd stay in the same spot every time. So how do you think the pandemic is going to affect the start of our next year at college, or do you hope it won't affect it at all?
Well, I'm kind of like, I guess I'm a bit hopeful that it won't really affect it that much, because I mean, I kind of think currently in like the world, how it is right now for America at least, it's kind of like past the whole fear of this COVID thing, and I guess like the whole like the what's the term for like the worst part of it has kind of like passed, and we're now more onto like the the final like stages of like getting rid of the whole problem with it. So I kind of feel like I'm hoping it won't affect it, but I mean, I think it will still slightly affect the first year of our college because
Right.
it's like some classes, like I said, are still still some of them are still online while some of them are not, and so I kind of feel like that might be that's like a bit of a down for me. Like I would like to be in person for pretty much all my classes, but I mean it's gotta like you can't be like in person for every class.
Right, right. You can't get your hopes up too high, or else you'll just get completely knocked down when they don't get fulfilled.
Yeah.
Hey, well, here's to hoping that as many classes are in person as possible. That's the best case scenario.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice if the pandemic was just suddenly over? I know that's not how things work, sadly, but hey, a guy can dream. I hope you enjoyed episode 3 of Citizens of the Metaverse. Please continue to watch as I upload more videos. I'll see you next time.